Amazon, you got some splaining to do. So Amazon has had a few workers die recently in their plants, and sometimes people do die, and we do understand that people die. But 2 Amazon employees died within hours of each other, down in Alabama. See, it looks like they don't really care about people down in Alabama, but 2 Amazon workers from Bessemer, Alabama facility died last month. One of them suffering a stroke not long after his request to go home was denied. So he was not feeling good, ladies and gentlemen, and he was denied, probably because he didn't have the time. He didn't have the PTO. Said 2 of their co-workers, speaking workers' rights organization, More Perfect Union, claim that work continued as normal despite the deaths. So you had people die in your facility, and during that same day, no one mourned. They just went straight back to work. And now, let's think about the human aspect and then the Silicon Valley non-human computer brain aspect, where you are expected to be like a computer. You are expected to not have emotions. You are expected to not even die while you're on work. Not even while you're at work. You can't even die. On the clock, guys. You can't even die. They own you. Or at least they think they own you. Or at least they do own you for that little bit of time, the limited time. But it's crazy because the more these things grow, the bigger a company gets, the less they're going to be connected with you as a person, as a human being. The less they're going to understand that you have a family and friends in your own life outside of trying to collect money to pay bills. They don't understand that. They think you work to live. And Amazon is one of those companies. They are one of these new Silicon Valley companies like Uber, Lyft, Instacart, all these different companies who don't necessarily, sure, you can get gig work. Gig work's great. But let's be realistic about it. You are just another cog in the wheel, or another cog in the settings, you are just another, what's that word? What's that thing called? Another gear in the grinds. You are another gear grinding away. We are all just the same. We're not doing too much craziness because these companies own you. They don't care if you are a human being or not. They do not care about your individual situation. They don't care. All they care about is you coming in and filling that spot that your name can fill, that your body can fill, because you are just a meat body to them. They do not care who you are. None of these large corporations care who you are. How can they? They have hundreds of thousands of employees, even if they just have thousands of employees. How can they keep up with you, and how can they take it? How can they pay attention? So the guy had gone to HR and said, I'm not feeling well, can I please go home? Explaining to the Amazon warehouse workers don't have enough unpaid time off and have a fear of being dismissed. He was afraid of being dismissed, so he asked if he could go home. He didn't have enough unpaid time to go home. And so they effectively telling him, you either go home or you lose your job. And he did not want to lose his job. He did not want to lose his job. Okay, I think we have an interview. Yeah, we have an interview. Okay, cool. So we have an interview with 2 of the Amazon workers who were there. 6 people have died in this facility this year, and Amazon has been trying to cover it up. But how do you cover up death? How do you cover up when people are dying? That's the thing. That's the thing. I want to know. I want to know. So let's see this video, and let's see what's going on over there at Amazon. An employee, Isaiah Thomas. I think Isaiah Thomas was a basketball player before, right?
And died inside the trailer. From my understanding,
he died inside the trailer. He died inside the trailer. Dude, that's so crazy. That's so crazy to me. Because if you're just not feeling well, most of the time, people will just be like, go home. Go home.
For probably 20 minutes before someone realized they hadn't seen him. And within
he had gone to HR and said, I'm not feeling so well. Can I please go home? Because, you know, a lot of folks, even myself, we don't even have enough UPT, which is unpaid time off, right? And if you go negative, they'll get rid of you like that. And so a lot of
Yeah, they'll get rid of you like that because you're just another cog that they need to fill in to the holes. That is it. They do not care about you as a person. You are just filling that spot. And that is unfortunate, but that is most gig work these days. I mean, Amazon can be considered a gig work pretty much.
people are terrified of that.
Pretty much.
To go home. And so what HR told him was, you're just going to have to speak to management and see what they can do. And just, you know, go back to your station.
Here's the thing about these companies as well. They can't make exceptions. They can't make their own decisions. They have to go strictly by the book like a computer. They can't bend the rules a little bit. They can't be humans. They can't be humans. They have to be a robot.
Figure things out. I guess he spoke to his manager, and his manager told him the same message, that you just don't have enough UPT. And so they're effectively telling them it's either you go home and lose your job, or you just stay here and keep working through the pain.
And guess what he did?
And that's what he did.
He was not supposed to be in a trailer by himself. They always supposed to be someone in the trailer or at the end of the trailer.
Oh, but here's the thing. You have to follow the rules for your PTO and for your time off and your paid time off, but you don't have to follow the rules whenever it comes to safety precautions for doing the actual job, which could explain why 6 people died at this same warehouse in Alabama.
Now, just in case something falls on you, and he was in there by himself, so that we all know was
Dude, like, that's crazy, man.
On
That's crazy.
that this man had passed his shift on, there was another person who had to be put in an ambulance.
I think this was the 2 in a row, right? 2 people died in a row?
Wheeled him to the front where fire truck and ambulance was waiting for him, and they took him to the hospital, and he passed. So that was 2 people passed away in less than.
So he technically, you could say he wasn't there. He wasn't actually there. He wasn't actually at the warehouse, but he started dying while he was at the warehouse.
They actually come around and tell people not to talk about it and to go back.
Go figure. I wonder why. And of course, we're talking about it right now on television, right?
A coworker of mine, he went up to this one manager and asked him, like, what happened with the man who passed away? Management told him straight to his face, I don't know what you're talking about. That's the most disrespectful thing.
Now, if they knew, maybe they didn't know. Maybe they didn't know. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they didn't know, but they probably did.
Like, why would you say something like that?
There's no shutdown. There's no moment of silence. There's no time to sit and have a prayer.
Yeah, it's just like when Owen Hart died at the WWE show. You know, they talk about a bunch of the craziness. When Owen Hart was coming down as the Blue Blazer into the professional WWE wrestling ring, he fell. He had a free fall, and he fell into the ring and broke his neck, I think he did. He hit his head on the turnbuckle or something like that. But they continued the show. They did the show, even though he died, and there should have been a criminal investigation or at least an accidental death investigate, something to see, like, what the hell happened. But no, keep the show going. Let's keep moving. Keep moving. So what? This body died. Life goes on. Let's keep going.
A couple of people that worked directly with him were new and good, was badly shaken up. A couple of them wanted to go home and were not allowed to go home.
Well, yeah. At least 6 workers have died at the Bessemer. At least 2 of these people were denied leave by managers before their deaths. Amazon did not respond. And I do not expect Amazon to be responding. Amazon has blocked a whole bunch of different people from trying to unionize. And I think that they did it illegally, too. I think in one of these articles, they did talk about how, workers at Amazon and Bessemer, Alabama warehouse attempted to unionize in April under the Retail, Wholesale, and Department Store Union. But the effort was defeated with 1,798 votes against 738 for. The RWDSU told Mashable that it worked with a more perfect union to release the report, but declined to comment further, citing a desire to focus and remain on their studies, on the studies, whatever you want to call it. It does not sound good.
I was like, we really got to do something. Perry was like, I'm going to call OSHA.
But what can you do? Call OSHA, and then but there's not much OSHA can do. It seems that Amazon has way more power than OSHA.
I'm like, I'm going to call him too.
And I wanted to get
At least somebody could do something.
on why OSHA's never been inside the facility to check out any of these deaths. I said, so the 2 deaths that happened.
That already right there doesn't sound copacetic. That sounds like something's going on, right? The 6 deaths, you had 6 deaths and OSHA ain't been around once? That doesn't make any sense.
Day. And he said, wait a minute. He said, what you mean 2 deaths? And I said, 2 people died. He said, well, we were notified about the man had a stroke in a trailer. I said, yes. I said, but another man was wheeled out at 6 a.m. and he later died at the hospital. And he said they didn't report that.
Ooh. Ooh, boy. Oh, they didn't report that. Ugh.
That OSHA showed up.
That at least got
A week after. Yeah, OSHA, really on your shit, huh? Build back better. Really on your shit.
around, but they didn't talk to any employees as far as I know, which I think they should have.
This has been the 6th person that has died at Amazon, and something has to be done. Like, this is insane. How long are we going to wait until somebody else does? If they would have just let him go home, he would be spending Christmas with his family right now. Because this is a human being.
Yeah, but what do you... I don't know about all that now. I don't know if he would have actually been home and been okay. We can paint the picture and make Amazon, and don't get me wrong, I love making Amazon look evil, but there's no telling, really. That's hard to say.
Somebody's grandfather or uncle, and Amazon just viewed him as just a means for them to make more money.
What happened?
Yes. And that's the unfortunate thing that we have to look to as we go on in the future here, and we have mega corporations becoming the norm. We're going to have to start making sure that we are looking out for ourselves, especially locally, especially with your local neighbors. In the neighborhood that you grew up in the neighborhood that you live in now, or currently in, it is utmost important for us to be looking out for each other, because these international companies that have roots all over the world, or don't have any roots, do not care. They are making money. The purpose of a corporation is to make money, and that is it. They are not worried about anything else. And it sucks, and it sucks, and it sucks, but that is the reality.
You know, what are they going to do? They're going to slide me out of the way, put somebody in my spot. I'm just going to be a body, another body.
The management and it.
You will be another body if you are there long enough. Yes.
It's just built a certain way to ensure that we are always productive. And so that's why they disassociate their own feelings, and they seem like they're mechanical.
They're mechanical. They're robots.
It's like, you gotta do your job. I don't care if you're in pain. I don't care if you don't have any UPT or PTO. You gotta keep doing your job.
PT or PTO. That is so crazy. Yeah, I remember they tried to union, but that was blocked. Amazon illegally interfered in the election and was ordered to redo the vote in 2022. So they have to redo the vote in 2022. I think that we've gotten enough. We've gotten a good taste of what Amazon is actually up to. And I know you guys, you want to root for Jeff Bezos, right? Mr. TRT running around with his complete and utter makeover, and now he looks like a cougar, but it's the male version of a cougar. Whatever the male version of a cougar is. That's what Bezos is worried about. He's not necessarily worried about the actual people that work for him. He's worried about what those people do as a functionality for his company and how they can increase the profits. I know, profiteering, profit. But at a certain point, can we worry about us? Can we worry about the actual people who are doing it? Because we only need each other. We only have each other. This is a normal theme that we go through on the Jourdain channel. We only have each other, guys. We have to be hardcore, and we have to make sure that we are paying close attention to our people around us and see if something's wrong. Ask if something's wrong. Try to make sure that we can help people as much as to the best of our abilities. You never can tell the future, but you can try to alleviate people's hardships. And a lot of these people, I guarantee you, were having hardships at this Amazon factory, and it does seem like this Amazon factory was not doing the best that they could do for their employees, but they were worried about their profits. Profits number one, employees number two. Whenever that happens, those employees, you'll have 6 employees die at your facility. I don't care if it's been 10 years. You had 6 employees die. That is insane, and that is horrendous. But these types of stories are normal throughout the world. Not so normal here in America, I don't think anyway. I would hope not, but possibly. We did see that factory, the candle factory down in Georgia or Alabama, where people were not allowed to leave. And I think that there were a good bit of people that did pass away from staying because they had to stay and try to make the company money or something like that. I don't quite understand it. But what I do understand is we need to pay closer attention, and we need to make sure that we are minding our P's and Q's, and we are making sure that these corporations are not taking advantage of us and letting us die.